context, the more context you can give the AI for more complex asks, right? Like, here's the variable number one as it relates to when we get money in, and here's when we pay our attorney out as variable number two. The more context you can prompt in, the better answers you're going to get out. Welcome back to the Sterling Family Law Show. I am one of your co-hosts, Tyler Dolph. I'm also the CEO of our marketing consultancy called Rocket Clicks that was born out of our very own law firm, Sterling Lawyers. Today, I have our co-host, Jeff Hughes, the co-founder of Sterling Lawyers, with us. And we're going to have a little just riff session on the law changes that have happened in Arizona around alternative business structures, which essentially is having non-attorneys own law firms. There was some big news that just came out regarding an AI company that's building a law firm that got approval in Arizona to do this. Jeff, pretty interesting news.
Yeah, so this is what really caught my eye, Tyler, and what I wanted to talk about was there's this new AI law firm, they're calling it, based in Arizona, and it's called Eudia. I think I'm saying that right. It's EUDIA, and they've come up with a pretty interesting take on combining AI with delivering legal services. And so I want to talk about that because I can see it potentially rippling downstream to us family lawyers and how it might impact us. So I want to just kind of talk over what it is, why I think it matters to us in family law. And I see a potential, and we're already kind of experimenting with this here at Sterling, but I see a potential how this could apply to family lawyers sooner rather than later. And then I've got some ideas on what to do about it, how to think about it, kind of how to approach AI as a whole, not just specifically with this Eudia situation, but as a whole. So that's the kind of stuff I think it'd be kind of fun for us to talk through.
Let's do it. Just starting from the top, I think it's important that for our listeners who don't understand the law change in Arizona, why don't we start there and then we can dive into how it's adopting an AI.
Yeah, okay. So Eudia bills itself as a legal tech company, and then they raised over $100 million. So that's pretty good
enough, sure.
War chest to get them going. And their proposition, I think, probably to their investors, what they're trying to pitch their investors is they're going to build advanced AI tools for lawyer. And so they've launched their firm called Eudia Counsel LLC in Arizona, and it's, like you mentioned, it's under the Arizona Alternative Business Structure Program. For those of you who don't know, that's a program that only Arizona has that allows non-lawyers to co-own law firms. So basically, it's an attack on the ABA Model Rule 5.4, which prohibits non-lawyers from fee sharing. And so that's really what Arizona is trying to do. And so this has gotten a fair amount of press over the last week. So the idea is that they are creating a hybrid law firm where attorneys work hand in hand with AI systems. So think of it kind of like, and I'm not a Marvel comic guy, but like what's the guy, Iron Man? He puts on the suit and all of a sudden becomes all these special things he can do. But other than he's a normal, just super smart dude. That's kind of like the thinking here, right?
I like that analogy.
Take a normal, super smart lawyer and then, cover her in AI, and all of a sudden she's like Iron Woman or something like that. So that's kind of the thinking that they're doing. Now, they're not in family law. So let's make that clear. This is not a family law thing, but I could see it very quickly becoming a family law thing. Their focus, so what Eudia is focusing on is where the real big money's at, and that's in the B2B space, business law. So they're building tools for contract review. M&A and mergers and acquisitions are huge. And the big part where a lot of the money spent in that space is in the due diligence part of it. So they want to build some tools that are designed to enhance that and make it go faster. Now, I know there's other startups that are out there that are not in Arizona that are doing that. I was approached by a private equity company guy based in Arkansas, and he wanted me to take a look at potential investment. And it was that whole thing around M&A due diligence and building AI tools to make that go faster. But there's another interesting thing I noticed in the multiple articles I read about Eudia is that they feel like they can build tools to build a company brain. So if they acquire a business as their client, over time, the more time that goes on, the more they get to know that particular enterprise, they can build the brain for that enterprise, at least from a legal perspective. So that's really kind of what they're hanging their hat on. And that's combining everything they can find about that company, all the data, putting it together and constantly training the algorithms or training the the AI tools to know that particular business better, that could then write better contracts for them, and just do better predictive analysis and so forth. So making sense so far?
Yeah, pretty wild. I keep thinking like, okay, it's happening. This is how we're gonna all work with robots now.
Yeah. So their goal obviously is to reduce or have a value prop. They can go out to businesses and say, okay, you're paying X dollars to your in-house counsel or your out-house counsel. Is that a word? Out-house counsel? Your third-party attorneys that you're working with, and we're gonna reduce that by a significant fraction with all of our tools. But you still get a lawyer involved, so you still have lawyers involved, but then they're enhanced by AI. So that's what's going on with Eudia. Now this is obviously my very well informed opinion, I might add, but my opinion on this as it relates to family law and why I think it matters to us at Sterling and all of our colleagues that are out there in the family law areas, because this is another sneak peek. Now, I'm not a doomsday. I think AI is going to create way more opportunities and raise up, the economy and generate trillions of dollars in wealth for everybody that's involved with it. But it's going to have some disruption, certainly on this front end of that. So this is a peek into where I believe the legal market is going. Now, that is a direct attack on the billable hour, because I think over time people are going to say, why am I paying by the hour? Because I know AI is doing a lot of the work behind the scenes for this sort of stuff. So yeah, so I think it matters, because I think you're going to see clients over time demand more predictability around their fees and so forth. And so what they're doing at Eudia, as they're saying they're going to do, is embed AI right into the law firm itself and offer a model where technology is not just a tool, but it's a part of the service and expectation that the lawyers are going to be utilizing this. And so,
Well, and
you know,
frankly, Jeff, they should, right? Like, I think that when it comes to the conversation of AI, there is sometimes some trepidation of like, oh, well, I'm the lawyer, I'm the brain, you're paying me. But in reality, like, as more people adopt and leverage these tools, that attorney may fall behind.
yeah, well, yeah, without question. So, like in our world, I personally believe that family law as a just as the money spent on family law will only grow over time, because I feel like the services we provide to clients and other family law attorneys provide to clients is so emotional based. It's so much about support, hearing, and all of the soft skills that go into serving clients. I think that stuff AI can't touch. So I think we're in a good place personally. We're not in transactions, for example. We're not in due diligence, which is a lot more easily AI enhanced than what we do. But there is a percentage of what we do that's document prep. It's crafting MSAs, it's drafting contracts, it's doing, or not contracts, but drafting discovery and different things that we do. And AI is just going to make that go a lot quicker. So I think we can repurpose that time to offering better service to our client, reducing our fees, and provide something that's more predictable, and then serving more clients in the process. So, the obvious low hanging fruit for these things is document drafting, review. I think what I think is real intriguing, especially as firms scale and grow, and we're seeing certainly more scale in family law, is some of these predictive insights that we can build over time. It's like when we hire a brand new associate, straight out of law school, I'm telling you, a big part of their learning curve is just figuring out how to read cases and try to understand what the court is likely to do with that. Because you can go look at the law, that's one thing, but it's way more important to know your judge, your commissioner, or your court official, or whatever the case may be. And over time, if we're consistent with putting all of our data into the brain, so to speak, I think our predictive insights can get better and better, and we can certainly improve the client experience in the process. So yeah. Okay. So now let me just bring it home. Okay. This is where I see what I am choosing to do in response when I see these sort of things, because we can all come out there, we can read these articles, and we can get all worked up about them, get afraid, right, that AI is going to take our firm away from us, and it's other people that are good in AI are going to get it, but they're going to be able to push it out of the market. And there's I think a small shred of truth to that. But I think, because I'm not a techie person, and I think the vast majority of our audience, the vast majority of my colleagues in the family bar are really non-techie. We're word people, right? We're relationship people. We're not like, zeros and ones and, computer stuff. So what I have chosen to do to now, let me back up. Now, also as CEO of Sterling Lawyers, it's my responsibility to be the one that's forward looking out of the horizon, making sure we're positioned within our firm to meet the changes that AI is bringing and the changes that are coming just as society evolves. And so to combat that, because I don't have this techie personality or thought process like Tony does, for example, there's a couple things that I have done that I have found a lot of success with. I want to share with our audience because I think these are things that all non-techie lawyers can do that will enhance our awareness around AI and better position our firm to meet the opportunities that are coming. Make
Love
sense?
it. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I got 4 things here. So the first one is these are practical things. Okay. The first one is I replaced Google as my default browser. Like I use Chrome, right? Google's my default browser there. And I've replaced that with Perplexity for a while. And then just last night, actually, I went back to ChatGPT because it's gotten a little bit better than it was back when I used Perplexity and how it presents information. So if I go up to the search bar and I'll type in my search, I'm not going to Google to the search. I'm forced to go to ChatGPT or Perplexity or whatever I'm using. Now, quite frankly, a lot of times that annoys me because I want to buy something and ChatGPT and Perplexity aren't great for like, oh, like I want to buy this certain guitar. So I go type that guitar in. It's a Santa Cruz guitar. I'll type that in and, I'm getting like all the information about the Santa Cruz Guitar Company, which that's great, but
I'm ready to buy.
a natural cutaway. I don't want to like hear their life story. But if I go to Google, I'm going to get all the places that particular exact guitar is being sold. So what it forces me to do is start first on my searches with AI, then I have to manually come out of that. So it's forcing me to change my habits. So that's for an old dude like me, that's, that takes some
Smart. I
time
love that.
doing, right? Yeah. You got to like all these neural pathways are very deeply ingrained, right? So I have to like, coat those over a little bit and create new ones. So that's the first one is replace your default browser. Second one is listen to something every day on AI, even if like it's not making sense to you. Now there are tons of podcasts out there on AI and I think it's the AI Daily, something like that. Yeah, is that right? Is that the one we listen to?
Daily AI review. I'll look it up on
Yeah. Yeah, and that's usually the first 5 to 7 minutes are the news of the day, and then they'll go into a topic, like they'll read someone's article and they'll kind of analyze it, kind of like we're doing here. But look, what that's done for me over the past year is it's raised my awareness of AI. It's helped me understand the issues that are coming. And a lot of this stuff is way above my head, and I have to just basically skip the podcast for that day because I'm not understanding it, and that's okay. But it's forcing me to constantly have AI as a part of my thought process and conversation. Okay.
Just for our listeners, it is called the AI Daily Brief.
Yes. Yes.
Very good.
That's the one. Yeah. Yeah. I think I pay like $5 a month for the non-commercial version, which I would suggest you do that because the commercials are super annoying. They break in all the time and it's worth $5 a month to avoid all that. So the third thing is adopt one tool. Just do one simple thing and force yourself to learn one tool. And that could be 10 minutes a week, just something. It could be some fun stuff like get an AI image generator tool and just like, do cat videos or something. I mean, it's just something to start learning the skills
Yes.
of AI. So that's the third thing.
Pick a platform, right? Like you mentioned Perplexity or ChatGPT, and there's 1,000 now, like, AI agents out there. I would suggest you pick one. And to your fun point, my 5-year-old son's birthday is coming up, and I had ChatGPT build a whole coloring book featuring him and his brother and our dog. The cool stuff that you never could do beforehand. But your point about just embrace and play around at first will get you more comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. And the last one, this is the one that's going to take a little bit of purposeful training. Okay. Because you can't, put obstacles in front of you and do this is start thinking and training your brain to go to AI first for every problem. Even if you check the box and say, AI can't solve my lawn mowing today. Okay. That's not a problem AI can really address right now, but everything else, especially if it involves bits and bytes on a computer screen, AI can significantly enhance that. So practical examples of that is yesterday I'm in a financial review with our CFO and our president, and we're talking about when we take on a client in month 1 and we pay the bonus to the lawyer, usually about month 5, how do we forecast that based on, January's new clients that we have to pay out in May to as bonuses? How do we forecast that? And we were going back and forth like, why don't we just go to AI, dump all that in and say, give me the formula for our forecasting? That's one thing. Last night, like I want to buy a small house for my family while we build our other house. And I had to just put together the entire postcard I want to send to all my neighbors in the area saying, hey, this is what I want to do. And it saved me several hours of creative thinking that like drains my brain. So it's just like start there first. That's probably the most important one of all of these is start there first, because it's a skill that has to be honed and developed over time.
Well said. And when you're prompting context, the more context you can give the AI for more complex asks, right? Like, here's the variable number 1 as it relates to when we get money in, and here's when we pay our attorney out as variable number 2. The more context you can prompt in, the better answers you're going to get out.
That's true, and that's what I'm told. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not good at these prompts. Mine are usually like one sentence long, and then I have to do it 6 times to get to the actual answer. I have to keep. Oh, wait. Let me add this to the prompt, and then it'll like give me another answer. Oh, I got to add this. So it's an evolution process. So don't be discouraged if like you can't write these masterful, beautiful prompts, because they're actually getting way better at taking simple-minded prompts from me that give me the answer ultimately several searches later. So
100%.
yeah.
I think, Jeff, to tie this all together, right? We know AI is coming as it relates to alternative business structures and what's happening in Arizona. That may be coming as well. But as the focus on family, I think the initial adoption of understanding the AI is not going to take over. It's not going to take our jobs. But let's embrace that this is there as a tool. Let's leverage it in our firms when we can, and let's continue to watch what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
Love it.
Cool.
Thanks for your time today.